given. Okay, so that means that different there are so many people around. There are so many behavior around us. Okay, different people, different behavior. So for me, that it's easy to handle things. For example, like table, chairs, machine, but it's really hard to manage people, human, because why? Human, they have so many attitude, they have so many behavior, and they can change from time to time. That means they can change within seconds. They can change their behavior. Okay, so for me is that if you want to control human, it's very hard, but if you want to control things, it's very easy. Okay, so next, but anyone siapa, anyone you want to interrupt in my lecture, is okay, no problem. You just can interrupt. You want to ask me anything, you can just interrupt. Yeah, it's okay, no problem. We just have a leisure information distribution here. We have just an leisure class here. Okay, so commonly called OB. Okay, organizational behavior. Usually is called as OB, a short form as OB. And these are some of the points that I'm going to deliver by today. That means the attitudes, perception, personality, and behavior, stress, and stress management. Okay. The last part is about stress. Okay, stress and management. And then how you want to manage your stress. Usually, human they always have stress. Okay. Depend on how we are control, how we manage our stress. Okay, interdisciplinary influence of OB. Okay, organizational behavior. So inside here, there are so many, for example, like economics, sociology, psychology, cultural anthropology, vocational counseling, management, ethics, and industrial engineering. So all these are what we call as the influences of on OB, organizational behavior. So how this will affect human, they will affect environment about their behavior. Okay, organizational citizenship, tendency of people to help one another and put in extra effort that goes beyond job requirements to contribute to organization success. Okay, so before we go for attitudes, maybe we can have a look on the video. But if you can't see or hear, please let me know. Okay.
Mohon maaf Bapak, videonya
Ya,
belum play ya?
sudah play dah. Tidak
Oh,
tidak lihat ya.
dia belum lihat. Iya.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
Ah, sekejap ya.
iya Pak.
Mungkin tidak sesuai itu. Apa saya teruskan, nanti saya share video kemudian ya dengan
Oke,
ibu.
baik. Baik
Alright.
Pak.
Okay. Maaf lah, mungkin tidak sesuai dekat Zoom ke apa ke, saya tak pasti. I'm not sure, but later I will share the video and the
Thank you
slide
Pak.
also with Ibu Shalih. Okay.
Iya.
Okay. So we go straight with the attitudes and behavior. Attitudes, manner, disposition, feeling position with regard to a person or things, tendency or orientation, especially of the mind. This is because of our attitude. This determines our attitude. Our attitude will become positive or negative. So it's about manner, feeling, position. Okay, that means that it's really relate with our mind. Whereas behavior, observable activity in a human or animal, the aggregate of response to internal and external stimuli. Stimuli. That means stimulation. That means our behavior, tingkah laku kita. Yang atas ni lah sikap, attitude lah sikap kita. Manakala behavior lah tingkah laku, our action. Okay, for example, like some people that are going to cross the road, old people, okay, yang orang tua ke, yang mau melintas jalan, behavior. It's about our behavior. Is that are we going to help him or not? Okay. First, he come from attitude. If you have a good attitude, definitely we will derive our behavior to the positive one. That means if our attitude is positive, we will go to behavior. That means we help the old people to cross the road. Okay. But if your attitude is not really nice on that day, maybe you have some issue with your workplace, you have some issues with your friends or what, sometimes your behavior becomes so negative. Okay, negative. That means that you doesn't care. It doesn't show that your attitude is not good. No, because on that particular day, on that particular time, some things that affect your attitude. So you doesn't see that in front there's something that you need to have. So it does affect to your behavior, tingkah laku kita, behavior kita. Okay, it doesn't what you call that? Just don't put a blame on them that oh you are not helping them, so you are have a very bad attitude. No, okay, don't ever judge them because why? We doesn't know what happens to them, so we need to know what really happens that they do this kind of action. So maybe like just I mentioned to you that uh, because of the attitude surrounding us. Okay, attitudes, cognitive and effective evaluation that predisposes a person to act in a certain way. Attitudes determine how people perceive their work environment, interact with others, and behave on the job. Okay, whether in the job or study, anything else. So determine how people, the work environment, interact with others, behave on the job. So this will create our attitude. Okay. So whether you want to have a good attitude or you want to have a bad attitude, so positive or negative. Okay. Attitude is everything. Attitude might not really be everything. Okay. It's not really about everything. Yes. And administration is a single most significant determining factor of success. In many situations, but it's not most situation. In many situations, it is the single most significant determining factor of success. Normally, if you have a good attitude, the positive things will come together with you. So it's better to have a good attitude. Okay, that means that if you have something happens around you, try to control it so that people look at you. You have a good attitude, you have a good behavior. Okay, but it's not really easy to control that kind. Me myself, okay, I try to control. Sometimes bad things happen to me, but I try to go. But the best things is that if you manage to control that things, you become a successful person. Okay, but it is not easy to control. Okay, influencing attitudes and behavior, formal attitude approach and group dynamic approach. Okay, in terms of formal attitude approach, people are rational. If information processing can be motivated to listen to a communication, learn it, and incorporate it into the repertoire of responses. Okay, whereas people are social beings, need to use other people as a basis of self knowledge, regulate their behaviors in accordance to the group norms and demands of the surrounding environment. This is what we call as a group dynamic approach, and the other one on the left side is a formal attitude approach. So this group are determined by a social kind of people. Okay, whereas the formal attitude, there's what you call as a step by step. You need to learn from one step and then for the next step. That will be a formal attitude approach. That means you learn from some people. Yeah, they come from a good, not really what you call a very good background, but they have a formal attitude. For example, like British people, okay, the etiquette of eating. So they have this what they call as a very good manners of eating. Okay, but we cannot follow them because they are really in terms of formal really. So in terms of group dynamics, they are most influenced by the group of people around us. Okay, components of an attitude. Okay, cognitive, like I mentioned just now. So my job is interesting. That will be the cognitive thoughts. Okay, whereas effective feelings is I love my job. And in terms of behavioral, intention to act, I'm going to get to work early with a smile on my face. So this the difference between the cognitive, effective, and also our behavioral. So cognitive is about our thinking. My job is interesting. Okay, you think positive, and then in terms of your heart, your feeling that you love your job very much, and behavior, you do your action. That means that you are going to work early with a smile on your face. Okay, so all this what you call as a positive vibes that comes together to make yourself a very good attitude. Okay, so these are just the brief. If you can refer to just the photo, it's much more better. This is what you call as the definition or the terms. What does it mean by cognitive component, affective component, and behavioral component? But if you want to look much more better about that, you can just refer just now the previous slide. It's much more onto details about each and every part of that. Okay. Uh, oh, there are some background. Okay, two attitudes that might relate to high performance is job satisfaction and organizational commitment. Okay, that might relate to high performance. Okay, these are the two. Job satisfaction. Are you really satisfied with your job? Okay, if you really good with your job or you are happy with your study now, your place now, it will give you a one of the reason that you will get a high performance. And also organizational commitment. Okay, for example, if you are working there, they give you a very good commitment. They give you a very good benefit. So you are, might be happy about that. Okay, same also like the students. You are studying in the IIB. Are you really satisfied in your place? You feel the environment is good. And then what do they give you? For example, a good library, okay, a good infrastructure of sports. So you're really happy. Okay, you have time for study, you have time for sports, and you have time for leisure. So everything around you makes you become much more positive, and you have a very high performance there. Okay, these are two attitudes that might related with the job, with the high performance in terms of yourself, in whether you are working or you are studying. Okay, so just now, this is much more to elaborate. Okay, as you explained to just now. And cognitive dissonance, condition in which two attitudes or behavior and attitude conflict. Okay, these are just a theory from the previous people, from Leon Festinger, 1950s. People want to behave in accordance with their attitudes and usually will take corrective action. Okay, so they behave, okay, according to the attitudes. And also, if they will make a mistake or what, they try to make a uh, correct correction about that. So they want to make a better life. Okay, from there. Okay, what about employee attitude? It's a key element in producing a quality product or service. It's a great influence by management. Attitude produce behavior and repeated behaviors from habit. Okay, employee attitudes about the product, about the work, their manager, and about the company will determine the quality of the work. Yes, it's because all other, about everything around us. Okay, this the word is about employee. Okay, but how about the students? It's same. It's all about the the environment around us. Okay, it's all about the environment around us. We determine the quality of our work. Okay, so from there you will show that if you have a good environment, if you're really happy about around you, definitely you will have a good quality of work. Definitely you have a good quality of work. If you satisfy with your job, right? You satisfy with your environment around you. Okay. So anything? Okay. So before I go to section, anyone want to ask me about attitude before I continue with perception? The second topic, perception.
Iya, Bapak mohon maaf, ini
Ya,
ada yang
ya boleh boleh.
sapa saya.
Ya,
Mereka cakap
bang.
mohon untuk lebih slowly.
Oh slowly, okay.
Iya, karena
Okay.
it's too fast Kak Shirley untuk understand. Mohon maaf
Okay.
ya Pak.
Boleh boleh bisa bisa. Tidak masalah, bisa bisa bisa. Okay. Bagus 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 bagus.
Baik, sebelumnya
Ya.
teman-teman semua, apakah ada pertanyaan mengenai materi tadi tentang attitude sebelum kita masuk ke topik selanjutnya? Jika ada, silahkan tanyakan langsung hidupkan mikrofonnya. Terima kasih.
Ya,
Ada yang mau bertanya?
Bertanya, silakan.
Silahkan.
Ya.
Di kolom chat juga ada, sudah disampaikan oleh Bapak Duyan. If there any question on the topic, you may ask on chat box. Boleh lewat chat box juga. Sambil menunggu pertanyaan, kita lanjut lagi ya Bapak.
Boleh, saya teruskan ya.
Iya.
Okey. Minta maaf tadi saya mungkin laju ke apa sebab sudah biasa dengan kuliah di sini, sudah bisa bicara dengan talk dengan apa tu, dengan para orang luar ya. Sudah
Iya.
biasa tu, so
Sebab ini kelasnya mix Bapak.
ya betul.
Ada yang international class, ada yang regular class.
Ya, faham.
Iya.
Understood. Okay,
Ya.
don't worry. For the next topic, I will go slow, a bit slow. Okay?
Iya. Terima kasih ya Pak.
Sama-sama Ibu. Okay, so we continue about perception. Persepsi. Okay, kalau dalam bahasa Melayu atau bahasa Indonesia ialah persepsi ya. Persepsi. Perception. About perception
Bapak,
about
mohon
yes.
maaf.
Ya.
Ini ada pertanyaan ternyata di kolom chat.
Ya, silakan.
Pertanyaannya, Kak, I want to ask how attitude affect the job satisfaction. Thank you.
How the job
Yeah.
affect apa tu?
Yeah. How the attitude affect the job satisfaction.
Okay, attitude affect job
Thank
satisfaction. Okay, welcome. Thank you. Very good question about that. Okay, a job. Kita punya attitude effect about our job. Okay. Like just now I mentioned that if we go from attitude, okay, nanti saya pergi kepada fotonya. Di sini. Okay. Kita ada attitude dan job satisfaction. Okay. Kita punya attitude katalah hari itu kita kurang bagus. We are not really very good on that particular day. We have maybe problems that coming in, okay, and then our attitude change suddenly. Our attitude change from the normal behavior, the normal what we call as a normal thing that we are on the positive side, and then because of there some problems that are still thinking in our brain, okay, okay, cognitive part, still cognitive, that means that still thinking about the problem that haven't been solved. We are still thinking, how are we going to solve? For example, I give you for example. Okay. On that day, we have problems with our car. Okay, our car. Mobil. Perlukan uang untuk repair. Tapi masalah itu ialah uangnya tidak cukup. Okay, so kita akan rasa we are feeling down. We are really feel bad. Bagaimana mau selesaikan uang ni? Bagaimana selesaikan mobilnya? So dari situ attitude kita berubah. Daripada kita happy, kita ceria menjadi sedih. Okay, so dekat mindset akan masih berfikir lagi. Tapi dalam hati kita fikir ialah yes, we try to solve the problem. Tapi otak di fikiran masih fikir lagi, how are we going to solve this problem? Uangnya tidak cukup, tapi mobil masih mau dipakai. Okay, tapi di hati ialah I still need to go to work. Because why? If I don't go to work, I don't get a salary. If I don't get salary, then how am I going to repair my car? Okay, so behaviour kita ialah kita pergi ke mana? We still go to work. Okay, we still go to work. Once we go to work at our workplace, definitely our performance are being down because of the effect of just now, the environment there. So that's really determine our performance, job performance, because of our attitude. Okay. That's why I mentioned just now, it's not easy. Okay, it's not really easy for you to control your what you call attitude with your performance. It's not really easy because sometimes that not everyone can control. Okay, for example, like you bersedih, Tapi dalam sesama juga, you senyum. Tak semua orang boleh buat. Okay? Tak semua orang boleh buat. So that means that it's not easy. But even this, it does affect on your performance, job performance. So at the end, it's like what I want to say is that experience are the best thing. That means that if you have experienced this before, then you will ask, how are you going to, how do you overcome this problem? Macam mana menyelesaikan masalah ini? Mengikut pada yang pengalaman lepas. With your previous experience. How do you cope up with this experience, these problems? Okay. Tapi susah bukan senang. Tapi bisa dilakukan. Bisa dilakukan. Bukan tidak boleh, bisa dilakukan. Cuma macam tadi soalannya ialah, it does affect on our job performance if our attitude already been disturbed by the environment around us. So we are the one who going to determine how to control our emotion, how are we control our attitude about that behavior, so that at the end it will show our a good performance in our work. Okay, hopefully I already answered the question that was asked just now. Okay, any more questions before I proceed with the topic perception?
Sampai sejauh ini belum ada lagi pertanyaan. Jadi saya rangkum sedikit ya Bapak.
Ya, boleh.
Ya, jadi tadi pertanyaan Pebi, bagaimana attitude akan memberikan efek terhadap kepuasan kita dalam bekerja. Di sini di dalam slide ada, kita bisa lihat di dalam komponen attitude itu ada terdiri dari 3 hal. Ada kognitif, berarti pikiran kita. Ada afektif, itu yang berkenaan dengan feeling atau perasaan kita. Dan juga ada dengan behavior atau dengan kebiasaan-kebiasaan kita. Jadi tadi dicontohkan, misalkan kita lagi ada masalah nih, problem dengan mobil kita.
Iya, betul.
Iya. Terus kita terus berpikir. Dan kita tetapi dengan rusaknya mobil kita, tapi kita tetap harus dituntut untuk pergi bekerja. Ya, karena itu adalah kewajiban kita. Ya. Nah, tentunya karena ada something yang ada di pikiran kita, memikirkan bahwa mobilnya rusak nih, bagaimana how to solve, bagaimana memperbaikinya. Dan itu akan mempengaruhi pikiran, feeling kita, kebiasaan kita, dan tentunya mempengaruhi juga pekerjaan kita. Kurang lebih seperti itu. Semoga Pebi bisa membantu penjelasannya ini. Semoga bisa memahami. Bagaimana Pebi?
Yeah, I get the point. Thank you Kak Shirley and Mr.
Yeah, good, very good, very good.
Terima kasih ya Pebi. Belum ada lagi Pak.
Okay, so we
kita
continue with the perception.
Bisa lanjut. Iya, boleh.
Okay, so saya pergi ke perception. Perception. Okay, we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. Okay, bermasuk dalam ni. Okay, very deep. Okay, for example, that if you see something positive, don't expect that everyone will see positive side. Sometimes they will see on the negative side. But don't worry about them. What you think is the best, so let it be. Okay, don't think about other people. If you think that is good, do it. Okay, usually people will look. Okay, what does the people around us will say? Okay, kita buat ini pun salah, kita buat itu pun salah. Betul ke kita buat? Kalau kita memikirkan perihal orang lain. Okay, yang penting ialah we do our see. We do what is if it's a positive for our part, then just do. Okay, that's why we don't see things as they are. We don't see. Tak sama pandangan kita, our view and the people around us, they don't have the same view as what we see. Okay, but we see things as we are. If you see that the way, it's good. Okay, for example, like number 6 and number 9. It's just same. If you turn around, it will become number 9. If you turn around again, it will become number 6. Okay, in which view you are looking at. Okay, that means if you see in number 6, yes, and the other side they will see number 9. Okay, so that's what we call as a more auto perception. Okay, cognitive process people use to make sense of environment by selecting, organizing, interpreting information. So they select, organize, and also interpret. That means they interpret the information that they get from the around you. Okay, they interpret. Okay, once they interpret, different people, different interpretation. Okay, that's what we call, for example, management. In terms of management answers or what, in terms of exam, quiz, or what, is totally different compared to engineering, okay, or mathematics. Mathematics is that, for example, 1 plus 1 must be equal to 2. But in management, is all under the sky. As long as you can provide proof, you can provide statement that to show that this is your answer. That's what we call as management. In terms of perception, many people we have different kind of perception. Okay, now we go have on the floor, yeah, observing information via the senses. Okay, we have 6 senses, we have 5. Okay, observing information, you observe, you look around you, okay, from there you can see what's happened, what's going on, so you observe that information and then screening the information and selecting what to process. From there you select. Okay, so around you there are so many information, there are so many. Okay, even you are watching now, for example, you are watching my slides, but around you there are so many things that happens currently right now. Okay, you can see, just now you can hear voices, uh, tools dropping, many what we call many things happen around you, and then from there you screening. That means you are focusing on what. For example, now I'm focusing on my slide, but my ear, telinga saya masih dengar screening. Yes, but I try to focus on the information and selecting what to process. So I focus on my slide, and these are going to the content of slide need to be processed. Okay, they need to be processed. And from next stage is organizing the selected data into patterns for interpretation and response. That means after I screen, okay, and then selecting need to process. Next stage is more to organize. Okay. So after selecting what to process, organize, and then what should I interpret? Okay, just now I focus on my slide, and what is inside my slide is about the topic of the perception process. So from here, I see the flow. Okay, that is my interpretation. That is my interpretation. And my interpretation of this slide will be different from the others. Will be different from others. But the main objective is that they know what is the perception process is all about. Okay, that will be the perception process. Okay, next factors in the, we look at the first block here. Factors in the perceiver. We determine the perception. These are all the determining of about the perception. Factors in the perceiver: attitudes, motives, interest, experience, expectation. These are the what we call as perceiver factors that affect the perception. Attitudes, yes, they will affect motives, interest, and anti-exception. Okay, factors in the situation: time, work setting, social setting. It's about situation or it's about environment. It's about time. Okay, if you see your time, morning and afternoon classes totally different. Some of you prefer morning classes because why? Afternoon they can go to sleep. And some of you prefer afternoon class. Why? Because they stay up late at night and morning they still can continue sleeping. Okay, that's what you call perception. Perception. And work setting, yes. Some of them work from 8 to 5, and some of them work from 9 to 6. And some prefer working at night, and some prefer working in the morning. Social setting, yes. Some people really interest on socializing, okay, socializing. And some people no. Do these things of what you call you want to judge them as a positive or negative? Depends. It's all based on the perception. Okay. Next we go on factors in the target. Novelty, motion, sound, sight, background, proximity, and similarity. Okay, this we call a target. Who is your target? Who is your target? You need to know who's your target. So novelty. So based on perception, some people say that no, these are not novelty. People already done this. This is not new. They mentioned about that. Okay, motion, sound, size, everything that okay is more onto target. Okay, tendency to this one common perceptual distortion, stereotyping. Okay, stereotype. Kalau dalam bahasa Melayu atau bahasa Indonesia sama aja semuanya sama je, stereotype. Okay. Tendency to assign an individual to a group or broad category and then attribute generalization about the group to the individual. Okay, tendency to assign an individual to a group or broad category and then attribute generalization to the group. Okay, this is what you call as stereotyping. Okay, halo effect. That's what is halo effect. Overall impression of person or situation based on one characteristic, either favorable or unfavorable. Okay. This one is impression of a person. If you like that person, for example, an idol, there are so many followers with him. Artist. There are so many people follow him or her. And then suddenly, one people said bad about him. Do this follower will believe on that? Definitely no. Okay, they will reject because why? They said that these are my idol. So we trust him or her doesn't do any mistake or any bad things. Okay, so that one is what we call as halo effect, overall impression of person because of the situation based. Okay. Projection, tendency to see one's own personal traits in other people. Tendency to see one's own personal traits in other people. Projection, that means that you look yourself and then you mirror with the other people. Okay, he is good, I'm also good. He is hardworking, I'm also hardworking. You see, to see one's own personal traits in other people. And then from this you can see also, okay, what is lack, maksudnya kurang pada diri kita. You tengok orang tu, oh, dia hardworking, saya pun hardworking. Tapi dia punya hardworking lain. Maksudnya ialah he or she works hard, but in the same time work smart. But me myself, I see that I just only work hard, but I don't work smart. So from there, you need to improvise. Okay, improvise the things. We just go for projection. Okay, next we go for perceptual defense. Tendency of perceivers to protect themselves by disregarding ideas, objects, or people that are threatening to them. Okay, to protect. Dia rasa terancam, rasa something going to happen to them, so they need to protect themselves. This is what you call a perceptual defense. Okay, but this is good. You need to have this. You need to have this so that you need to protect yourself. Don't let other people look down on you. Sometimes you need to defend yourself. You need to defend yourself that you're saying that you are really good in terms. Okay, why I say so? Because not every people good in everything. No, I don't say no. I say yes. No, not everyone are good in everything. No. Okay. You, for example, you good in these activities, whereas in terms of weaknesses, you have some of our weaknesses over there. These weaknesses will become the strength of other people, and your strength will become weaknesses for other people. So that's why you need to help each other. Okay, that's why you need something to protect yourself. Don't ever people look down on you. Okay. Field ground illustration. Okay. From here, what you can see a vase. Okay. And you can see two people looking at each other. This is what you call perception. Different people, different kind of view they look at this. Different. If people say that yes, I'm looking at a vase, vase ataupun pasu bunga. Letak sini letak sini. Okey, letak sini pasu bunga. Ada pula melihat dia sebagai dua wajah. Two faces are looking at each other. Okay, which color you are looking at? The white one or the red color? If you are looking at the white, the color, you look at the vase. If you are looking at the red color, the picture will be two people facing each other. So different, different people, different kind of perception. Okay, attributions. Judgment about what cause a person behavior, either characteristic of the person or on the situation. As people organize what they perceive, they often draw conclusion. Yes. Okay, judgment. Judgment. They judge people. Like I mentioned just now, don't judge directly. No. You can judge by your own personal view, but never judge and then mention to everyone. No. It's very, for me, that it's not very good. Okay. That's what we call a for me that I will say as a very bad attitude. Okay. As people organize what they perceive, they often draw conclusion. Usually they will will see the conclusion there. Okay. External and internal attribution. Observe behavior. Does the person behave in this way in other situations? Yes or no? And does the person behave a history of behaving this way of other people other times? Yes or no? And do other people behave in this way in similar situation? Yes or no? So this will be go on what we call as distinctive attribution, consistency, and consensus. This is what we call as external and internal. That will attribute in this kind of institution. Attribution biases, fundamental attribution error is equal tendency, and self-serving bias is equal tendency to overestimate the conclusion of the. Okay, this will be much more theory. Okay, from this picture you can have a look. Okay, there's you can see horses, and some of you didn't see any horses around. Tak nampak kuda pun Ada nampak ialah macam snow. Right? So different people, different kind of perception attribution over there. Okay, if I ask you how many horses are there, okay, people will try to look and we try to count how many horses are there in this picture. Okay, but from this view, you can only see that at the first page, on the first view, you can see a snow on the hill. If you look directly, oh, I can see faces of horse here. Okay, oh, it's a horse over there. Kuda ada kat situ pula. Okay, okay. Next, you can see here. Which angle are you looking at? If you looking at the small one, yes, one deer. If you looking at the big one, as I showed in the slide here, it's a big deer, which are from the what? from the leaves, from the tree. Okay, you can see that. Okay, next. You can see here. Okay, an old man and a lady. Okay. Old man is it with a beard and a lady with a baby. Okay. So if you look much more further, you can see a face here. Okay, this is a nose, it's a face. So different people, different kind of angle they are looking at. Not you can assume that everyone have same view. No. Okay, another one. Dots. Okay, so many dots over here. Okay, you can see if you see dots here, it shows many dots, many view. In what angle are you looking at? Okay, you can see many squares, and they are not very in order sizes, but definitely everything is in the same size. It's just the angle that we are looking at from the different kind of angle, different size. Okay, this also the same. A picture of people. Okay, and different people they will see different kind of angle. Okay, you can have a look later. Okay, there are so many here. I just insert in the slides. Okay, so that will be the second part is about perception. Next we go for personality and behavior. So anyone want to ask? May I ask now before I continue to the personality and behavior?
Teman-teman
Siapa ya?
semua, ada yang ingin dipertanyakan mengenai perception? Jika ada, silahkan tulis di kolom chat atau bisa langsung tanya langsung dengan menghidupkan menghidupkan mikrofonnya. Silahkan. Kami tunggu pertanyaannya.
Nampaknya tiada ya? Ada?
Iya.
Atau malu-malu lagi?
belum ada sepertinya.
Oke, siapa saya teruskan dulu
ya,
ya,
kita
Ibu?
sambil terus ya, baik Bapak.
Ya. Nanti kalau ada nanti boleh tanya kemudian.
Iya, boleh.
Ya.
Ya.
Oke, saya teruskan. I continue with the personality and behavior. Okay, personality and behavior. Okay, kenalkan siapa ni kan? Einstein. Einstein. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Okay. Success, semua orang ingin berjaya. Yes, but the content is not there. Maksudnya dalam dia tak ada. That's why we become value, nilai tu ada. Saya selalu pesan pada diri saya. I always tell myself that if you are really good, please don't tell these good things about the others. People will look the good things on you. Other people they will find you. If you are really good. That means that if you want to be a success or what, let the success, you do the success thing, okay? But don't what we call hit the drum. Don't tell the others that, okay, I've done this, I've done that, okay? People look at me, I already done this. You tell about the others, okay? Viral in the Facebook, in the Twitter. There's no such thing as that, okay? To show that you are success. No. People will looking for you. They know that you are very good in these terms or what. That's why from there are a value inside it. Okay, so you call it Mr. Einstein, Albert Einstein. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. That means that yes, everyone to be a success, but you must have a success plus value. Okay, if you are not success enough, it's okay, but at least you have a value inside there. Nilai, sesuatu nilai yang berharga dalam diri you. What makes you? Who are you? Why don't you have everything as others? Personality. Okay, the sum total of ways in which an individual reacts and interacts with others. Okay, that's what you call as personality. That makes you, and that makes you different compared to the other. personality. Different people, different personality. Okay. Personality. A person internally based characteristic ways of acting and thinking. Okay. A person internally based characteristic ways of acting and thinking. Different person, different personality, and different way of action. Okay. Ada gangguan tadi ya. Okay, tak apa. Okay, personality. Set of characteristics that underlie a relatively stable patterns of behavior in response to idea, object, or people in the environment. Big five personality factors: extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, and openness to experience. There are five, right? Five personality factors. Okay, we can have a look later about the what each part is. Okay, this is what you call as MYERS-BRIGGS personality traits: introversion, extraversion. Okay, introversion you can look at yourself. There are so many tests about personality tests. There are so many things there. Okay, if you attend a course, short courses for personality test, there are so many. Okay, but I'm not going to do that on today. Just I'm going to brief about what is about personality and behavior. Introversion, preference for privacy. Okay, this person wants to work alone. He or she wants to be alone. Extraversion prefers for group and combination. That means that if he or she wants to do anything, she prefer to do in groups. Okay. Institution preference for hunters, visionary ability. Okay, ni gunakan six sense. Banyak kepada six sense. Saya fikir benda-benda ni gini, saya rasa macam gini-gini. Okay. And sensing preference for concrete data when making decision. This they need data. Okay, if I choose this, why I choose this? Because of blah blah blah. Because he or she really made some research. Okay. Why do you choose A? Why you choose, for example, mengapa pilih makanan ini? Kenapa bukan makanan itu? Kerana makanan ini enak, ramai orang yang datang. Setiap hari saya cek ramai orang yang datang. Okay. Tapi kalau intuition, ramai lah. Mungkin ramai, mungkin hari itu bagus, tanpa ada data, ada konkret data. Thinking, preference for hard facts over feeling. Okay. Dia lebih kepada tu memikir lagi. Feelings ni lah, reliance of feelings in decision making. Dia cuba suka pada feeling. Dia rasa bagus, buat. Rasa tak buat. Dia tak ada fikir. Perceiving, preference for open-ended casual approach to life. And judging, preference for closure, focus, and clear objective. Okay. This more onto judging, and then one is to perceiving. Okay. So different personality traits here. Okay. Common signs of extroverts. Kita dah tengok ni kan. Just now we already look the characteristic of extrovert, introvert. Now we can have a look in terms of feature. Energized by socializing. Okay. When they are group, socialize, they're really happy. You can see the battery full bar. Solve problem through discussion. Yes? Anything? No? Okay. Solve problem through discussion. That means while group, they want to try to solve in terms of group. They don't want to solve the problems by themselves, by alone. No, they prefer to solve the problem by group discussion. You often describe as friendly and approachable. Okay. And then open and willing to share. Yes, willing to share. Because why? You prefer in groups. You are not alone, and you love to talk. So that means that you look at yourself whether you are in this kind of people or what. If you love to talk, not talking to yourself, then what is, I can say like something wrong with you, kan? But if you love to talk with others, people around you, that means you are this category. Okay, extrovert. Extrovert. Boleh kenal lah, pastilah. Boleh tahu tapi kalau dia diam, suka menyendiri, itu dia mana introvert. Tapi kalau extrovert ni dia suka bersocialize. Attitude, introverti, extraversion, introversion. Okay, this is what you call as outside, inner. Okay, attitude. Perception, sensing, and intuition. Just now I mentioned about just now. So these are much more what you call as a very not very what you call that lagi halus lagi lah daripada tadi. And judgment, thinking and feeling. Okay. One is thinking about their using their brain, whereas feeling using their sense of heart. Okay. Judgment. Orientation to outer world, structure, judging and perceiving. Okay. You can see from the picture there, judging. Okay, you see can hear picture. It's really organized. Okay, on the top shelf circle, and then the middle is rectangular, and then the below is hexagon. I think hexagon, yeah. And then perceiving, don't care as long as it can fit, no problem. Okay, next is about the basic component. EQ, emotional intelligence. EQ. Okay, everyone must have this what they call emotional intelligence. Okay, basic components is about self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship awareness. Okay, self-awareness is basis for all other components, being aware of what you are feeling. Self-management, control destructive or harmful emotion, and social awareness, understand others and practice empathy. And the next one is the last one is relationship awareness, connect to others, build positive relationship. Okay, so this I will call it as a EQ, emotional intelligence. I think everyone have this what you call as a emotional intelligence. And you have you got like empathy. Empathy, yes, everyone have the empathy feeling. This will call as a social awareness. Okay. You really feel sad about that animal. Okay. Why is still in the cage? So you have this what you call as empathy, social awareness. Relationship awareness is that is in a group. Okay, why are you feeling alone? Do people like me or not? Okay, that's why you call it emotional, EQ. The relationship awareness. Okay, this is what you call it the iceberg, iceberg. Okay, on the top one is a conscious mind, present awareness. That's what you can see. That's what you can see up there. But the below, the bottom one is you can see. For example, like yourself, you can see what is in front of you. But in the pre-conscious mind, outside awareness accessible, you have this what you call as ego and super ego. Okay, executive mediator and also internalized ideas. This is what you call as a pre-conscious mind. You can see, maybe you try to hide it, bersembunyikan. Okay. Ada seorang tu nampak tapi tak berapa nak tunjulkan. They try to hide. This is what you call as a pre-conscious mind. And the below one is unconscious mind. Okay. It's not accessible. Okay. Unconscious, physic, energy. These are the big part. Okay. Unconscious mind. So you need to balance all this. Okay. Need to balance. Conscious mind, pre-conscious mind, and unconscious mind. Okay. Locus of control. Tendency to place primary responsibility for one success or failure, either within oneself internally or on outside forces externally. Internal locus of control, your actions influence what happens to you, and external locus of control represent parts of it. Okay. Place primary responsibility for one success or failure, either within oneself or outside forces. Okay, jadinya ialah you place the responsibility. For example, I managed to do this successfully because my friend helped me. Okay, I managed to do that because why? I do it alone. Saya buat sendiri. That's why I success. Okay, that one we call as internal. I did this because why? I managed to do this. I managed to do the work. My work has already done success because why? My team members, my group support towards this success. That's what we call it external. Okay, external. Behavior influenced by personality, authoritarianism, believe that power and status differences should exist within the organization. Okay, ini authorizers, authorizers dia berkuasa, authority. They have this what we call the authority, the power and status. And then these believe that power and status should be different, should exist within the organization. That's why we have what we call as different level of authority, different kind of power they have. Same as like students. You are still students. You still do not have any power right now. But that's what you think. But you have your own power. That means that your voice. Okay, you can sound, you can give suggestion to the students representative. This is what you want. This is what you shouldn't have. Okay, you can voice out from there, even though you are still students. Okay, this is what Machiavellism. Berbelit lidah sebut is about direct march of one's behavior towards acquisition of power and the manipulation of other people for personal gain. It's not good Ni susah sikit. It's not really good. What? Manipulation of other people for personal gain. That means that you use someone for your own benefit. This happen. This really happen in your working, your study. Yes, it's really happen. You work very hard. You want to share with others, but at the end, that single particular person, they take the opportunity and it become his or her effort. That's not very good. Okay, that's not very good. If you work in a group, it should be the group effort. But if you think that this is the individual effort, let it be the individual. Okay, don't take the opportunity to get what other people works. At the end, it belongs to you. No, it's not really good. Okay, it's not really good. Okay, Maslow hierarchy of needs. Okay, I think this one everything pelajar-pelajar semua anak mahasiswa semua tahu pernah belajar ni Maslow hierarchy needs. Okay, self-actualization, esteem, love, belonging, safety, and psychological. Okay, okay. The higher the things that we want. Okay, and the lower is that usually these are the what everyone is one breathing, food, makan semua nak kan, makan, minum semua nak makan, nak rumah semua mesti nak. Okay, ini memang semua orang nak, orang mahu. Yang tengah-tengah love, belonging, friendship, family, semua nak, kawan-kawan, safety pun semua nak. Okay. Okay, problem solving styles based on work of Carl Jung. Individuals differ in the way they solve problems and make decisions. Okay, gathering and evaluating information are separate activities. Gather information. Okay. They go for sensation and intuition. Yang kita dah, we already look at the previous slide just now about the sensation and about institution. And evaluate information is about thinking and feeling. Okay, they are using more on thinking, use their brain, and also they are used about feeling about their heart. And then they evaluate. Okay, about gather information that they are more focused on the data. They really look on data. Okay, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator (MBTI), personality test that measures a personal preference for introversion, extroversion, sensation, intuition, thinking or feeling, and judging or perceiving. These are the type test. But I'm not going to do test here right now. It's more determining you yourself whether you are the extroversion or introversion people. If you are really become work together, you feel work together, work in as a group, you will go for extroversion. If you prefer to work as alone, you will go for introversion. Okay, so you can have a look here just now on the previous slide. On my previous slide, you can have a look at what is essential intuition. You can look at my previous slide just now. Okay, learning and learning style. Learning, change in behavior or performance that occurs in the result of experience, and that's what we call as learning. Every time, every day, every second, we are learning something very new. We learn. Even we are dead already, we still learning. The process of learning still continue and never stops. Okay, never stops. Since you are born till now, you are learning. You are learning, and so many informations are gathering. You get so many information. And learning style are diverger, assimilator, converger, and ongoing. These are four styles of learning. Okay. So next, the final one will be stress and stress management. Okay. So any question you want to ask me about the personality and behavior?
Maaf Bapak, ini ada pertanyaan.
Iya, boleh.
Satu dari Okay, I want to ask a question about perception. As we know that in organization, there must be different perception between each other. Could you tell me how to minimize the different perception? Thank you.
Okay, welcome. A very good question. How to minimize perception between each other? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, the best part is that we need to think positive. That's why I mentioned just now that we think that if we are good in this, definitely we have a weaknesses in other what other part. Okay, for example, if you good in maths, if you are good in maths, maybe you are your weakness in terms of writing. So that means that you don't think that you are great, you are good in everything. No, every human there are must be a weaknesses and strength. So if you look at this, definitely you will try to reduce the perception, especially in work, in study, in every day of our life. Think about that. You have something that you are really need to learn. That will become your what your weaknesses and your strength. You use your strength to show that you can help each other with your strength. Uh, because why? Sometimes, okay, usually your strength is will become the weaknesses for the others, and the weaknesses for the others will become the strength of you, or the strength of the others will become the weaknesses of you. Okay, so that means that you need to help each other. That's why God create us different gender, okay, different kind of feeling. That's why we need to look on that. Why God create us totally we have male and female. Why? Because why? It become balance between each other. So in terms of working, try to think positively. Okay. If for example, your boss or your group member who is a leader, for example, in this group leader, he was elected by as a president or what. Definitely he's not good in everything. Maybe he good in managing, but in terms of decision or what, no. That's why you need each other to help to become a strong team or strong network together. So to reduce the perception, always think positive, always help each other. Never think about like just now. Don't make assumption or don't try to judge someone that he is not very good on this. So you try to leave him. No, okay. Don't ever do that. Okay. I just share you. I just share you with my experience during my teaching before this. It was more than 20 years, I think, more than 20 years. I was teaching a technical technique. Okay, I show there's one student inside my class who is very I can say very slow, very slow. What does he mean by slow is that from the hostel to the class, he once he wants to go from the hostel to the class, he know the way, but sometimes he couldn't remember the way where he come from. Okay, from sometimes if you want to go from the study, from the college to the hostel, back to the hostel, this student couldn't retrieve back. Which way does he wants to go? Even itu sampai tahap tu very, I can say very slow. Okay, but for me is that I know that is his weakness, but there must be some strength inside there. Ada kekuatannya, pasti ada kekuatan. You know what is his strength? His strength that he can read the blueprint very nice, very. If some usually normal students will take around maybe 10-15 minutes to understand the blueprint. But this student almost like less than 1 minute. From the look only, he can understand the blueprint of this kind of work. And his work is very nice, very, very smart, and he can think the shorter way of doing the technique things, right? How to solve the problems much more effectively. You see, this is the strength of people. So from there, we learn from each other. So as a team, as the other classmates, okay, because of his weaknesses of getting back, he doesn't know the route or the way of getting back from the college to the hostel. Their friends will help him, okay, going back together. They will go and eating outside together, so that he knows that this kind of students also will help the others in terms of study. So that's why we call it help each other. Never think that you are really good in this, you will good in everything. No, definitely you will have a weaknesses in other places. Okay, so that's my answer for the question just now.
Terima kasih Bapak.
Okay.
Jadi saya rangkum sedikit.
Yeah.
Jadi di dalam tadi pertanyaannya dari Pebi Intania. Terima kasih. Bagaimana di dalam lingkungan kerja untuk meminimalisir perbedaan persepsi. Salah satunya yaitu rasa memiliki satu sama lain. Bapak will translate in bahasa ya.
It's okay, no problem.
Jadi adalah salah satunya dengan rasa memiliki satu sama lain, karena sebagai manusia kita punya kelemahan dan kelebihan masing-masing. Seperti tadi dijelaskan oleh Bapak bahwa misalkan kelemahan saya susah untuk mengingat sesuatu. Tetapi kelebihan saya mungkin saya sangat pandai dalam matematika. Teman saya mungkin dia tidak pandai matematika, tetapi dia sangat cepat menyerap sesuatu. Nah, di dalam berorganisasi atau dalam kehidupan sehari-hari, dengan saling dengan saling melengkapi satu sama lain, maka persepsi ini bisa kita minimalisir. Tetapi kita melihatnya bahwa kita harus saling melengkapi. Dan kembali lagi, kita harus selalu berpikir positive thinking antara kita dengan orang lain. Seperti itu. Ya. Terima kasih, Pebi, pertanyaannya. Semoga sudah dipahami ya. Terima kasih, Pebi. Iya. Kita bisa lanjut ke slide selanjutnya, Bapak.
Oke, boleh.
Iya.
So, kita teruskan dengan stress and stress management. Ini memang ramai yang stres lagi-lagi kuliah pada petang, lagi stres. Sama dengan saya. Kalau tugas kalau ada kuliah pada hari Jumaat, saya stres, penat, capek. Kenapa? Kenapa saya capek kuliah pada hari Jumaat? Sebab apa? Ramai mahasiswa tiada dalam kelas. Saya seorang je dalam kelas, dalam kuliah. Sebab ramai sudah mau pulang. So, jadi saya tidak mau ada kelas, saya tidak mau kuliah pada hari Jumaat. Hari lain, okey. Tapi kalau dulu tapi sekarang ni saya tidak ada kelas. Kuliah pada hari Jumaat, saya tidak ada. Hari Isnin sampai hari Khamis saja. Okey. So we go for stress and stress management. Okay. Stress. Tengok gambar ini. Tengok foto ini pun sudah stress Stress. Tapi jangan stress melampau Don't sampai maximum stress lah. Okay, this is what you call stress Tengok foto ini pun sudah stress Okay, stress. What is it? Apa stress? Stress. Semua orang cakap stress. Okay, stress as a response is the way you feel when pressure is placed on you. Yes. Okay. For example, okay, mahasiswa semua, esok perlu hantar hantar jam 8 pagi tugasan ni. Waduh, 8 pagi, aduh, mana mau cari bahan ni, kan? Okay, itulah stress lah. Itu stress. Respon Okay. That means that there's something that put in you. That's why you play. You really feel stress. It's the meeting or individual with an external event. Okay, stress not is simply a function of what you do. It's also a function of how you react. Macam tadi kan, bila cakap ada perlu hantar tugasan pagi esok, bukan jam 12, tapi jam 8 pagi. Wah, terus je. Wah, reaction You react already. Wah, ini macam, wah, tidak sempat ni, aduh. You react already. Okay, you dah bertindak balas. Okay, next. Distress is a negative stress response. Distress is anxiety, sadness, fear, suffering or pain, or a state of being in trouble. Okay, negative stress. So, for example, like anxiety, sadness, sedih, okay, fear, dan juga suffering. Dia suffer lah, kadang badan sakit dan sebagainya. That's what you call as a negative stress. Okay, stress is a feeling of being under too much mental or emotional pressure. Okay, mental mental, yes, too much or emotional pressure. Perasaan pun ada, mental pun ada. Some of you feel mental because why? Doesn't involve about emotional, and some of you sometimes we go for emotional, perasaan, stress. Okay, pressure turns out into stress when you feel unable to cope. Yes, this will come. Okay, when you cannot settle that thing, you will feel stress, and this will become a pressure to you. Pressure tekanan dan turn into stress. Dia akan jadi sebagai satu stress. Pegang. Okay, stress in the workplace. One of the common stresses of people aside from pressure at home, family, relationship and financial issues is pressure in the workplace of employment or career issues. Okay. Biasanya selalunya lah kan, kalau mahasiswa yang financialnya akan menjadi satu stress issue. Stress ni ialah sebab apa? Kewangan tidak cukup. Okay. Tapi kalau yang sudah bekerja, stresnya ialah kerana apa? Tidak masa untuk bersama dengan keluarga, family, time, tak ada. Kurang. Okay. Tapi kalau dari segi time, saya rasa student, mahasiswa is okay. Because why? Your class is not 24 hours. It's not 12 hours. Okay, sometimes morning 3 hours and then afternoon you have 3 hours again. And maybe sometimes you don't have that class for that particular day. So you'll be enjoying. But usually for students, they will stress out because of assignment, okay, exam, and that's why we become stressed. And stress at work is a major issue. It can be significant cause of illness and it's known as to be linked with a high level of sickness, absence, turnover, productivity issue of organization. Okay. So jadinya for the work it become because of cause of illness. Okay. Disebabkan tu dia akan menjadi staff turnover. That means that so many staff will quit, they stop their job and looking for others. Okay. When staff turnover is high, you need to look over your management. You need to look over your management. Sometimes there is not what you call as a not good environment in the management team. Okay, why so many people quit because of their pay? Is it because of the pay? Is it because of the instruction given is very very stressed? So you need to know that, and the high level of sickness absence. And yeah, And when the stress are really high, okay, the workers will go into absence, okay, absence, absence, absence. Okay, they will take more leave. Okay, stress and stress management. Okay, stress is equal to psychological and emotional response to meet the place in physical or psychological demands on an individual. Okay, and type A behavior is equal to pattern characterized by extreme competitiveness, impatience, aggressiveness, and devotion to work. And another one is type B behavior. Lacks type A includes a more balanced and relaxed lifestyle. Okay, this will be a type A and also type B behavior. Okay, which are you in? If you are in type A behavior, that means you are really very competitive. Okay, you are just a people who really competitive. You need to be advanced. You need to be update compared to the others. You need to be in front compared to others. Yeah, there are some people like this, and also devotion to work. They really like to work. Okay, even though your work time is from 8 to 5, for example, you will come early at 7 and you will go back late. Okay, devotion to work like Japanese people. Okay, Japanese people how to Japan. Okay, it's not because of devotion of work. No, it's their culture. Their culture to work and go back late. Okay, nah, only few of them only they devote themselves to work very hard. But most of them in Japanese, okay, they are going back late because of what? Because of the culture. If you go back early, they think that you are not very competent. That means you are not very efficient in doing your work. So whereas if the others are going back late, you should also going back late because of culture in Japan. Okay, if you are in the type B behavior, that means you are just relaxed. Okay, relax. For example, like this. Okay, you and your friend. I think you can see lah from you and your friend. Okay, while study. Okay, one one student really wants to get A, R. Okay, for every subject want to get R. Don't care. They do not care about they want to get B, C, D. They don't care about that. These students wants to get A. Or R in Bahasa Indonesia Okay. He or she really works very hard, study very hard, very good. Okay. And another type of students, they couldn't care. As long I pass, it's okay. I'm happy. Okay. This is what we call as the type B behavior. They just study. If they get A, R, or B, that will be a benefit, extra benefit for them. But if they just pass, that will be good. Okay. More balanced and relaxed, like relaxed lifestyle. They couldn't care about their grades. They just think that this they pass for this semester. That's good. Okay, that will be the work type B behavior. Okay, work stress. That's also known as occupational stress. The adverse reaction people have to assess pressure or other types of demand placed on them at work. Stress is not an illness, it's a state. However, if stress becomes too excessive and prolonged, mental and physical illness matter. Yes. Okay. Yang bawah ni penting. Down here, if it continues every day, every time you think about stress, it will create a mental and physical illness. Okay. That means that physical tu okay, badan sakit-sakit, tak ada masalah. Okay. Once if you have physical illness, it's okay. You can go to the hospital, you take some medication, makan ubat, okay, sehat nanti. Tapi mental, itu problem. Sometimes we can go mad. Because of why? Too high stress that they cannot cope up. They cannot settle this. It become high stress. But for me, is that take it easy. Okay, take it easy. If you have stress, okay, for the Muslims, take your prayer water and pray. Okay, ask for God how to settle that problem. Okay, that's for the, and for the non-Muslim, you can go for your what you call different kind of what you call a religion. You pray and ask for your God for relax, for how to settle this problem. It's okay. Then don't stress out. Okay. For me, is that every single problem there must be a solution. There must be a solution. Okay, how are you going to solve that problem? It depends on you. If you need to work as a group, you need to work as a group. If you work as a single rider or what introversion, you have to settle down it by your own. Okay. Okay, work-related stressor, role ambiguity, work overload, occupation, resource and inadequacy, working condition, management style, monitoring, and job security. These are work-related stressor. These are what we call as why we are become stressed. Okay, these are the factors, factors that become our work become stress. Okay, causes of work stress. Okay, 4 categories: job task demands, physical demands, role demand, and interpersonal demands. Okay, 4 categories: job task demand, physical demand, role demand, and interpersonal demand. These are what you call as a cause for work stress. Okay, job task. If your job tasks are become much more what you call the demand, they want to settle it urgent, it will become much more stress. Yes, you will feel the stress there. Physical demand, okay, you need to what for example to carry the loads which are heavy loads, okay, because why, all the machines are problems, so you need to use your physical to carry the loads, heavy loads. That also will become your stress. Okay, role demand, expected behavior, and interpersonal demand. Okay, these are the 4 categories which are causes of work stress. Okay, how to cope? This is what we call as a stress management. How to cope your stress? Understanding responses to distressing events can help you cope effectively with your feelings, thoughts, and behavior and help you along the path to recovery. Okay, understanding responses. Okay, that means you understand what do they want, focus on it. Okay, take about like 5 to 50 minutes, relax, understand what do they want. Okay, and then make it strategize. What should become first? What should do next? Okay, strategize your planning. From there, you try to overcome your stress. When you know the flow of setting down this problem, it will be easy for you to reduce your stress. Oh, sorry. Okay. Steps 1, these are steps of managing stress. Okay. Step 1, identify if you are stressed. If you are stressed, first one, you identify whether you are really stressed or not, or you are making the stress. Sometimes some people, they try making themselves stressed. Okay. Okay, but it's better if you are making that stress. I think you have a mentally problem. But if the stress come from the environment around you, so that's you need to overcome it. Okay, first step is that identify if you are stressed. If you are really stressed, then what's the next step? Identify the stressor. Who or what becomes you stress? Okay, siapakah yang menyebabkan you stress? Adakah kerja? Adakah apa yang buat you stress? What do this make you stress? Okay, you know the point. Okay, who or what makes you stress? Okay, the step number 3, identify the reason for stressor. Okay, the reason why it this happen. Why? You should know. There must be a reason. That's what I mentioned just now. Everything happens must be a reason. There's a reason over there. Okay, you want to know. Step number 3 is identify the reason for the stressor. And step number 4, select an appropriate stress management. Yes, that's why you need to organize how you want to reduce your stress. Okay, is it, there are so many ways. Okay, there are so many ways. So you need to choose, you need to organize which are the fastest and which will relate, what you call that, minimize your stress. So select an appropriate stress management. Okay, step 5, after you already done, okay, manage to reduce your stress, you manage to settle your work, then you evaluate why I managed to success, why I managed to reduce my stress, why, okay. So that problem, if arise again, you already know how to settle that problem. Okay, stop stressing and start living. Okay, yes, don't try to reduce your stress and start living, because why? If you live, you have a better life. If you stress, you will get sickness. Definitely you get sickness. So start enjoy your life while you can. Okay, stress management techniques. Change your thinking. Okay, change your thinking. Second, change your behavior. Yeah, from your behavior, what you call it, tingkah laku. Usually you want to feel uncomfortable once you get the job done, need to be done. Now think positive that okay, once I get my job, I think don't worry. I try my best to finish it, even though it's really hard, but I try the best. Okay, to show that you manage your time, yourself. Okay, try to manage. And lastly, like change your lifestyle. Yes, change your lifestyle. Okay, for example, like sleep, exercising, more onto relaxation. Okay, usually if you, for example, like if you are stay in the city area, because of macet, everything there, traffic light over there. Okay, there are so many traffic lights, there are so many vehicles there, macet. Okay, why don't, for example, like uh, twice a month or maybe 6 months, every 6 months, going to what waterfall or what, take a holiday and release yourself. Okay, that's how you change your lifestyle. Or maybe you can go for jogging, hiking, and from there how to reduce your stress. Okay, the importance of managing stress. People work from all life suffer from stress one way or another. Stress can make you weak, yes. Even you, it can make also you sick. Stress. And stress become excessive if it can be very damaging. It can be harm, health, happiness, work. It is important to recognize and address the underlying causes of stress and as the experience of stress. Okay, so it's better just now, like we have previously looked at our previous slide, how to manage stress. That means that you need to identify, okay, with the stressor, who caused this stress, and how to overcome this stress. Okay, okay, that will be all for the topic for today.
Oke.
Ya,
Bapak, ini
ya,
ada pertanyaan dari
ya,
student.
ya silakan.
Dia tanya,
Mm-mm.
Kak Shirley, how to manage the stress life in study based on this situation right now?
Okay, online is it?
Yeah.
or or the current the slide that I gave you, it becomes stress for you. Is it is it stress?
No, maksudnya adalah dengan keadaan sekarang,
Sekarang ya, betul.
student yang saya tangkap ya, student kan belajarnya
Ya, betul,
online.
betul.
Jadi ya, memang betul student boleh lebih di siang hari atau malam hari atau sore atau pagi, tetapi situasi ini lama-lama juga student jadi stres karena banyak tugas dari
Ya,
tes
betul.
dari
Iya,
dosennya,
betul.
dan sometimes as a student confused untuk memanage yang mana yang yang harus didahulukan untuk dikerjakan.
Ya, betul. Ya. Oke, bagus soalan itu, bagus. Oke. Bukannya setakat di IIB di tempat saya pun sama juga. Ada juga mahasiswa yang kata stres, sangat-sangat stres belajar online ni. So saya kata memang betul. Bila online ni memang stres. Especially if you want to do group work. Group punya work, assignment, really stress. Because why? you want to discuss from each other very hard. Everything want to use internet online. Kalau dulu you can go to face, bersemuka tapi
Yeah.
sekarang ni susah. Saya cakap memang betul. Bukan saja mahasiswa stres, dosen pun stres. Stres kenapa? Cakap seorang-seorang. Cakap seorang-seorang depan PC. So stress. Okay, how to overcome the stress is that, okay, for students, I tell them my students that, okay, okay, every dosen will give you task. Okay, task yang macam-macam lah, individual assignment, group assignment dan sebagainya. Okay, list down all the due date. Okay, list down all the due date and then organize which you need to submit first and which you need to submit last. From there, you try to manage your time. Try to manage your time. Okay, if your class, for example, morning 3 to 8, from 9 to 12, for example. Okay, whereas the other time, please settle down your assignment. If it can be done as soon as possible, it's good. But if you cannot settle, try to take some time. For example, like weekend or what, try to discuss with your group if it's a group assignment. Okay, that means that everything you want to do, please try to organize. Okay. Usually, sorry to say, I also sebelum ni pun saya juga mahasiswa juga. Kita mahasiswa biasanya ialah kurang dari segi organize. Kita kurang. Tapi bila kita sudah bekerja, kita lebih, bila sudah berkeluarga, lagi-lagi berkeluarga dan bekerja, kita lebih mula belajar tentang organize. Tapi bila mahasiswa, bila pelajar-pelajar ataupun yang muda-muda ni, dia kurang organize. Tapi from here lah, you can learn how to organize yourself. That means that which are the priority, you settle that first. Which are the less priority, slow it down. But don't leave it behind, jangan tinggalkan. Tapi perlu lihat dari semasa-semasa. So dia dapatkan dia punya schedule, which are the late line, which are the one that you need to submit early, which are you need to submit later. You organize and then from day, okay, ni belajar kat rumah. Belajar kat rumah pun ramai gangguan. Dengan apa tu? Dengan bunyi bising, dengan gangguan adik-adik, dengan gangguan makanan, food, ibu tengah masak di dapur, wah enaknya bau. Itu pun gangguan juga. Gangguan. Okay. Tapi try to focus. Focus what are you going to do. Okay. That means that, for example, like 9 to 12, you want to study. Ada kelas, ada kuliah. Fokuskan kuliah. Lepas tu, jika ada perlu bantu dengan keluarga. And then, another few hours, please separate yourself. Okay. Bukan nak cakap, be selfish. No. Sometimes you need to do that. You need to be selfish. Asingkan diri untuk selesaikan tugasan-tugasan kuliah yang diberi oleh dosen-dosen. Jangan risau, parents faham sebab you adalah mahasiswa. Mahasiswa perlu ada tanggungjawab. Parents akan support. Okay? Akan support. So that's how you want to reduce your stress during online. Tapi masalah sekarang ni ialah kenapa mahasiswa terlalu stres ialah terlalu dalam fikirannya ada macam-macam perlu dibuat dalam masa yang sama. Sebab apa? Kurang organize. For me, my keyword is that you need to organize. You need to learn how to organize yourself. Itu je yang how to reduce.
Iya.
Okay? Ya.
Ya. Terima kasih. Jadi poinnya adalah coba untuk organize atau disusun ya Pak, dijadwalkan.
Ya,
Jadi tugas mana yang mesti dikerjakan, yang mana yang kita susun. Misalnya hari ini tugas A, B, ada 3 tugas, yang mana yang harus kita kerjakan lebih dahulu, yang mana yang harus kita submit terlebih dahulu.
Ya.
Jadi sangat penting untuk kondisi sekarang untuk pintar-pintar membuat planning ya.
Ya, betul.
Planning dan scheduling.
Iya, betul.
Iya.
Ya.
Ya,
tapi itu yang kurang kurang bagi mahasiswa, itu yang kurang.
Iya. Nah, semoga membantu mulai dari sekarang kita mulai buat planning yang baik, schedulekan yang baik untuk jadwal-jadwal kuliah kita.
Iya, betul.
Terima kasih kepada yang sudah bertanya.
Yes.
Selanjutnya Pak, ini ada lagi pertanyaan tentang perception.
Yes, boleh.
How can we manage the perception to organize work satisfaction in teamwork, in a team, dalam
Okay.
sebuah tim?
Okay, perception in team.
Perception to organize work
Question.
satisfaction, ya, di
Okay,
dalam sebuah tim.
okay, okay. Okay. Ini sebuah tim Okay.
Ya.
Dalam satu tim ni, tengok jika kalau kita dapat satu tim yang what you call satu kepala istilah dia, mudah kita uruskan kerja. Tapi yang macam kata tu kurang enaknya ialah kalau kita dapat tim yang kurang members yang membantu. Itu yang susah. Okey, itu yang susah Saya selalu bilang dengan saya punya mahasiswa, saya bilang sama mereka, grup saya tak tentukan, kamu tentukan sendiri. So carilah tim-tim yang membantu, which help each others. Okay. Tapi ada juga pelajar-pelajar yang mahasiswa bilang sama saya, semua yang bagus-bagus semuanya sudah diambil orang. Okay. Saya cakap, kenapa kamu bilang begitu? Yelah, kami satu kumpulan sudah lama. Kami sudah duduk sini pun tahun 3. Okey, sudah lama. Kami kenal mana boleh membantu. Okey, macam gini. Betul, kamu rasa dia kurang membantu. Tapi kamu lihat semula, dia punya positive part. Apa yang boleh dia bantu? Mungkin dia kurang untuk memberi, what you mean that, kurang dari segi mungkin type ke, okey. Tapi dia rajin dari segi pergi ke sana cari bahan, pergi ke sini cari bahan sebab dia ada sepeda, ada mobil, boleh gerak ke sana ke sini. Okay, think the positive side. From there, you will manage your team very good. Try to overcome that negative thoughts. Okay, mungkin dia ni banyak cakap, give many ideas, but at the end doing nothing. Yes, there are some people over there. Okay, around us there, yeah, they talk too much, but once giving task to do, they try to avoid. Bukan saya cuma cadangkan saja. Cadang, tapi bila suruh buat tak mau. Ada juga begitu. Okay, tapi kita try to overcome in terms of psychology. Psikologi macam saya jugalah, saya dah sebagai dosen sudah lama. Sekarang ni saya banyak ke arah dosen cara psikologi, approach psikologi. Dalam grup ke, dalam apa, saya selalu gunakan psikologi, effect. Okay, for example, saya bilang sama saya punya mahasiswa, okay, you buat dalam bentuk kumpulan atau individu. Kalau kamu mau hantar, kadang mau hantar tugasan, boleh hantar. Okay, ada pelajar, ada mahasiswa tanya saya, sir, when can we submit our assignment? I said, okay, I already mentioned, stated already, the date when to submit, okay? But still, student ask me, but it's okay, no problem. I give you option, I tell them, okay, you can send on the date that I give you, or you can send early, it's much more better, or you can send 1 week later pun boleh, atau you tak mau hantar langsung pun tak apa. Saya tidak marah. Tapi jangan kamu marah saya kalau markah kamu kosong, sifar. So saya gunakan psikologi. Lepas tu pelajar pun ketawa. Ketawa. Dalam ketawa tu diorang faham. Yes. At the end, they will submit before or on the date of the task. Nampak
Iya.
Kelemahannya pelajar ialah dia organize tu kurang. Lagi satu ialah perception kita pun selalu pada perception negatif. But definitely they manage, at the end they manage to do that thing. Very organized, very cantik, smart, and then they will go very, very nice. It depends on us how we want to approach them. And for group just now, your members, how to approach to what we call as a problematic person, how you approach to them by not using forces, but sometimes you need to use psychology to approach them. Itu macam biasanya kalau psikologi ni diorang akan lemah berbandingkan dengan force.
Okay. Jadi kesimpulannya lagi adalah kalau di dalam tim pasti tentunya ada banyak kepala berarti akan ada banyak ide.
Betul.
Dan dengan berbedanya ide tersebut jangan kita persepsikan menjadi sesuatu yang negatif, tetapi kita lihat dari sisi yang positif. Dan juga perlunya adanya pendekatan personal ya Pak antara
betul.
organisasi antara between di setiap maksudnya orang-orang yang ada di dalam tim tersebut.
Iya, betul.
Ya, kalau misalnya kita punya kedekatan personal, maka secara psikologis pun kita akan saling mendorong untuk saling membantu ya Pak.
Iya, betul.
Iya. Jadi itu poinnya. Semoga sudah terjawab pertanyaannya. Selanjutnya masih ada Pak. Ini dia
boleh,
mahasiswa langsung chat di kolom chat tapi yang personal. Ini Bapak, how can we manage the routine work daily?
Manage routine daily
Iya.
Okay. Itu yang paling senang sekali. Rutin kita paling senang sekali. Okay. Senang cerita ialah, sorry to ask most of your students adalah Muslim, is it?
Di sini diverse, ada yang non-Muslim juga.
Muslim pun ada, okay? Tak kisahlah. Muslim ke, non-Muslim ke, very easy, senang aja. Okay, for the Muslim solat 5 waktu. Okay, jangan miss. Kalau you tak pernah miss solat, begitu dengan hidup kamu hari-hari sama aja. Jangan miss. Okay, for the non-Muslim, okay, dia lain sikit berbanding dengan kami yang Muslim. Tapi pada saya ialah every culture, every religion will give you positive, bukan negatif. Dia tidak ajar benda negatif pun. Okay, semua ajar benda yang baik-baik. Okay, contoh ialah pagi-pagi mesti ada prayer. Sebelum tidur pun ada juga prayer for the non-Muslim. So that will be your routine. Sama juga dengan belajar. Okay, so before you study, please make doa. For the Muslim or non-Muslim, make doa. Bangun pagi pun doa, sebelum belajar pun doa, dan habis belajar pun kita doa. Pray for the God. Why we need to pray for the God? Because we want ourselves relief, tenang semasa melakukan tugas-tugas. Okay, so dari situlah it will become a culture for you, satu budaya amalan hidup yang baik. So every day it will be the same, sama. Dan once you start a very good things kan, it will goes on and on and on. Okay, macam saya beritahulah pada anak-anak saya, pada mahasiswa saya beritahu ialah kita tak perlu nak jadi pandai, tak perlu. Kita perlu ialah our attitude must be very, very good. If your attitude is good, then later every positive things will come towards you. Itu je. Sikap you kena baik, attitude you kena baik, percaya kepada what God already instructed you to do, you must do. Okay, the fundamental you must do. If that you can follow, everything, the positive things will come towards you. Tak perlu cari, dia akan datang sendiri. Jadinya kalau nak jadi seorang yang cemerlang, yang bagus, fundamental you, asas you kena baik. So jadi itulah routine you hari-hari. It becomes your culture. Yes.
Yeah. Jadi itu sangat betul sekali, saya sangat setuju. Bagaimana kita memanage daily routine kita, start dengan hal yang positif, berpikir yang positif, sebagai human nature kita pasti percaya dengan kekuatan yang lain selain kekuatan dari manusia, yaitu kepada Tuhan.
Ya, betul.
Jangan lupa untuk dimulai dengan berdoa. Berdoa kepada Tuhan, mohon untuk kita dibimbing, dicerahkan pikiran kita, sehingga saat kita melakukan aktivitas kita lakukan dengan tenang dan dengan ikhlas ya Pak.
Iya, betul.
Iya, apapun terlepas dari apapun keyakinannya, karena jika kita memulai dengan berdoa dengan kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa,
Iya, betul.
maka itu akan membawa ketenangan terhadap diri kita.
Diri kita, betul. Yes.
Iya.
Mhm.
Masih ada ya Pak, pertanyaannya banyak.
Silakan. Boleh. Bagus.
Ini ada dari Hanton.
Yes.
Terima kasih Hanton pertanyaannya. How managing stress in online class during the pandemic? Tadi sebenarnya sudah dijawab.
Sudah.
Terus ini ada lagi. Is there any differences between work work from home for women and men during the pandemic?
Okay. Work performance
work performance, between work from home untuk perempuan dan juga laki-laki di masa pandemik seperti ini.
Okay. Pada saya memang ada bedanya. Ada bedanya antara lelaki dengan perempuan bekerja di rumah, memang ada bedanya. Biasanya kalau yang perempuan macam anak-anak di rumah, mereka lebih kerap sering kepada ibunya berbanding dengan bapa ya. Jadinya kalau wanita yang sudah bekerja, biasanya dia akan memang minat bekerja, bertugas di kantor atau di mana-mana saja. Okey, memang ada bezanya. Cuma sekarang ni ialah macam mana saya mau cakap, untuk kita kurangkan dia punya macam stres ke apa ke, macam saya bilang macam tadi lah, iaitu schedule. You need to have your own schedule. Scheduling itu kena betul. Okey. Macam anak-anak walaupun mereka sekolah di SMA ke mana ke, ada yang buat online. So jadinya masa mereka belajar ke online ke apa ke, masa tu ibu dan ayah ke apa ke melakukan tugas-tugas mereka. Tugas-tugas kerja ke dan sebagainya. Okey. Ataupun uruskan rumah. Tapi pada saya ialah how you schedule your time. Sebab time tu yang paling penting. Sebab apa? Time management lah. Pada saya ialah even you work from home, even you work from office, or if you work from anywhere, it's about time management. Sebab for the non-Muslim for the Muslim, we already being told in the Al-Quran demi masa.
Betul.
Tapi ramai manusia lupakan masa. Minta maaf lah, saya ingatkan diri saya jugalah.
Terima kasih Pak.
Demi masa tu yang penting. That means when it comes time, time management is really important. And when comes to time management, it goes to scheduling. How you schedule? Tak perlu dalam bentuk penulisan, tak perlu. You ingatkan, memorize from diri you. You schedule which come the first important things you need to be done, and then later, okay, benda tu yang perlu. Kalau rasa perlu macam ada meeting ke apa, you masukkan dalam kalender, masukkan dalam handphone you kalender, okay, pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Sebab sekarang ni semuanya saya rasa bukan kita mahasiswa pun pakai smartphone lah. So boleh kita organize melalui handphone kita. Itu pun boleh. Tapi organize lah. Everything is about organizing and also about time management. Even you are work from home, tapi yang betul kalau macam wanita dengan lelaki memang ada bedanya. Tapi it's about toleransi. Help each other. Okay. That's what you call as a family, as a team. You need to work together. If for example, like if your mom that time have work, why don't your dad look kan untuk kids ke apa ke? Patuh antara satu sama lain. Saya rasa boleh. Benda tu boleh diuruskan. Tidak masalah. That means ada persefahaman lah. Understand about each other punya task. At the end, it will goes better. Don't worry. Okay,
terima kasih Pak. Jadi ada bedanya. Saya pun merasakan bahwa perbedaan performa kerja di saat pandemi seperti ini antara perempuan dan laki, antara kita perempuan dan laki-laki. Tetapi poinnya adalah bagaimana kita saling support satu sama lain dan juga time scheduling atau planningkan, jadwalkan pekerjaan kita dengan baik. Dengan begitu semua akan bisa terselesaikan dengan baik nantinya.
Betul.
Masih ada ya Pak
Boleh,
pertanyaannya?
silakan. Bagus. Ini bawa mahasiswa yang aktif.
How to keep the employees' responsibility during work from home?
Employees responsibility work from home.
Employees' responsibility
Ya.
during work from home.
Okey. Sekarang ni bila saya selalu macam mana majikan kita punya boss lah
Yeah.
sometimes they have the negative thinking. Okay, you are working from home, do you work at home or you do something else at home, kan? Okay, majikan memang ada persepsi negatif. Itu pada saya biarkan. That's what you call as perception, kan? Even though you are really work at home, but sometimes people say that no, you are just relaxing at home, you are not working, kan? That let it be. Pada saya biarkan. Okay. Pada saya, kalau saya sebagai bos, saya sebagai ketua, at the end of the year, you show me your performance. Okay. For like the pandemic has been done for almost 1 year. Okay. At the end of the year, you want to have your incremental of your salary. You want to show your performance work, right? You need to prove what you have done during your 1 year working at home, for example, like that. So you need to show your performance. You have done this, you have done that, you have done that with proof. Okay. People will think about we stay at home doing nothing. But if you have the proof that you are doing this and that with this kind of activities, definitely with this proof, they will what you call that, their negative thinking will turn into positive thinking. Okay. Is
Yeah.
that at the end of the session that you need to show your proof what you have done while working at home. Itu je lah untuk support diri kita. Okay, Ibu?
Iya, terima kasih ya Bapak.
Ya.
Ini ada pertanyaan dari dosen kami, Bapak Dr. Indrajaya. Terima kasih Bapak atas pertanyaannya. Pertanyaannya, do you have the same interest in the learning and the stress level of Indonesian and Malaysian student?
Okay. Bagi saya sama je. Sebab apa? Status dia ialah pelajar. Mahasiswa. Bila mahasiswa ni pelajar, macam-macam dia mahu. Itu tak cukup, ini tak cukup. Sama saja pada saya, Indonesia pun sama, Malaysia pun sama. Okay. Tak ada masalah. But the status that because of the and anyway our culture is almost the same. Indonesia and Malaysia, the culture is almost the same. Okay, and our economy also is quite similar, and our environment also quite similar. Even the food also, I can say nearly similar lah. Even Indonesia food also you can available, boleh dapat di Malaysia, tak ada masalah. Dari segi kita punya thinking pun, pelajar-pelajar pun is almost similar, because if you go for like different country for the advanced country, for like Americans, Europe, the students I can say totally different. Totally different. And then like I mentioned just now at early macam saya beritahu pada Ibu Shirley tadi, pada peringkat awal, saya bukan nak menentang dari segi online learning. Okay, saya rasa pelajar-pelajar pun sama juga. Saya sudah bilang dengan pelajar, mereka pun setuju. Mereka bukan nak menentang dari segi tak suka dekat online. Tapi if you want to go for completely online, please make sure that the infrastructure should be there. Kalau infrastructure pun tak cukup, you want to use fully online, you need to think many times lah. Banyak kali kena fikirkan. Pada saya adalah, if you want to go for totally online learning, please make sure the infrastructure are complete. Kita bukan macam negara-negara maju yang dah complete. Okay, contohnya ada juga yang di sini di Malaysia, mereka bilang kalau di Amerika boleh buat online learning, tidak masalah. Kenapa kami di sini tidak boleh? Betul, kita boleh buat, tapi tengoklah kemudahan di sana. Infrastructure di sana excellent. I can say if you go most of the place, you can get the internet without any distortion or without any disturbing. But here, I can say even in Indonesia, you can see the time lagging, kan. Even the students also bukan complain lah, dia cakap, saya tidak bisa buka video. Sebab apa? Dia akan jadi slow. Yes. Kadang-kadang suara-suara saya putus-putus. That's why we call the infrastructure are not very good. So once the infrastructure are there, I think everything can be in order. Everything that's and we can do online learning. Sama juga di Indonesia, sama saja.
Ya, jadi begitu ya Bapak Dr. Indrajaya.
Ya.
Jawaban dari beliau, dari Pak Muhammad Dr. Fazli.
Yes.
Nah, ini Bapak masih ada lagi pertanyaannya.
Boleh, silakan.
Ya. Nanti yang lain juga kalau misalnya mau bertanya, malu untuk chat di ke semuanya, boleh chat di sini personal, di chat, kolom chat. Ini juga banyak yang masuknya di chat personal.
Oke.
Oke. Pertanyaannya mudah, tapi jawabannya akan luas. How can we learn to achieve job satisfaction?
Okey. Macam mana nak capai job satisfaction
Iya.
Memang betul, jawapannya luas lah. Okey. Yang pertama ialah minat, interest. If you are really interested at that thing, you will have your job satisfaction. Okay. Apa-apa pun you start from minat, interest. Okay. You minat benda tu, you akan buat benda tu dengan baik. Interest you really interest. Okay, for example, semua orang nak buat business ke apa kan? Betul. Tapi minat tak ada. Jadi jangan buat. That means you need to have the interest. Okay. What is your interest? If you really the interest, you can do that job very nice. And you have a good performance in your job. Okay. My keyword is the interest. Okay, Ibu. Ibu, boleh on microphone. Ibu punya microphone off.
Oke, maaf Pak, Bapak maaf.
Ya, it's okay.
Iya, masih ada lagi ya Pak.
Okay, boleh.
How can we approach the person who has a problem in work in team? Maksudnya ada yang mungkin maksudnya adalah kurang bisa mengikuti performa kerja di dalam tim. Yes. Seperti itu Pak pertanyaannya.
Okay, macam saya kata tadi lah. Kita dekatkan dengan gunakan psikologi. Jangan gunakan tenaga. Jangan gunakan kekerasan. Gunakan psikologi. Bila gunakan psikologi, dia akan lebih minat. Okay. Sometimes sorry to say lah, bukan saya cakap saya ni bagus sangat. No. Tapi mungkin kerana pengalaman saya bersama dengan mahasiswa, ada mahasiswa yang kurang minat dengan dosen-dosen yang lain. Tapi dengan kuliah dengan saya, dia minat. Saya datang dengan dia dengan psikologi itu bersentuh dengan dia. Ini lelaki lah kalau perempuan saya tak sentuh lah. Tapi ini dengan lelaki saya sentuh, saya pegang bahu dia, saya tanya baik-baik. Saya layan dia sebagai kawan, bukan sebagai mahasiswa. Saya layan sebagai kawan. Dari situ dia datang kelas, kuliah saya, dengar kuliah saya. Tapi kuliah lain, saya tanya kenapa? Dia cakap dia tak berminat. Sebab dia cakap dosen tu terlalu macam mana terlalu macam bagus sangat. Dia tidak suka. Oh, okey. Saya cakap tidak boleh macam itu. Itu semua tu ilmu. Kita terangkan sebagai psikologi. Yes. Psikologi ni memang kekuatan dia very good berbandingkan dengan kita punya kita kekerasan ke apa ke, physical is not that very good lah. Gunakan psikologi. Yes.
Jadi tentu saja dalam tim pasti ada kita akan menemukan jika teman kita mungkin berbeda persepsi dengan kita, berbeda pandangan dengan kita. Lalu bagaimana cara kita memanage-nya? Yaitu kita buat bonding dengan dia. Maksudnya kita bangun kedekatan personal. Kita ajak ngobrol, kita tanya. Dengan begitu nanti kita bisa saling memahami, kita bisa ngobrol, berkomunikasi dengan baik, lalu kita akan menemukan solusi dari masalah-masalah misalkan yang ada di dalam tim. Seperti itu.
Betul, betul Ibu, ya.
Masih ada 2 lagi ya Pak?
Okay, boleh ya Pak? Boleh, ya.
There are different student characteristic and trait. How can we handle the unmotivated and stubborn student?
Okay, stubborn student Memang student memang ada yang stubborn, memang ada. Dalam kuliah sekarang ni pun ada seorang pelajar yang very, I can say, stubborn jugalah. Tapi saya selalu bilang dengan mereka, kalau you stubborn, saya lagi stubborn dulu. saya sudah melalui proses ni lagi teruk daripada awak. Tapi orang cakap tu, saya cakap lah, at the end, saya sentuh satu je lah, parents. Okay, what does your parents want? Bila tiba parents, kebanyakannya mahasiswa, they will feel very, very sad, akan down. Dia akan rasa tersentuh. Okay? Tersentuh, kenapa? Please remember, at the early first semester registration, who sent you in the university? Siapa yang hantar? Bawa bantal, bawa tilam, bawa baldi, bawa macam-macam. Siapa yang bawa? Your parents. What do they want? Do they want your money? I can say no, they don't want your money. Do they want your degree? No, they don't want. They just want you to success in your study. Itu je. So how do you want to success study? Study, learn now, do your assignment. Bila sentuh pasal parents, kebanyakannya akan ikut.
Oke, terima kasih. Ini advice untuk kita sebagai lecturer ya.
Ya, betul.
Jadi kita bangun lagi bonding, kedekatan personal dengan mahasiswa tersebut, kita ajak ngobrol dan ya kita ingatkan bahwa kamu datang ke sini, ke kampus ini karena orang tua kamu mengirim kamu ke sini supaya kamu sukses di masa yang akan datang.
Yes.
Jadi just remember that, karena orang tua kamu mengantar kamu ke sini, bawakan makanan untuk kamu, bawa kasur, bawa semuanya untuk kamu. Jadi apa nih timbal baliknya terhadap orang tua kamu, yaitu belajar dengan baik.
Ya, betul. Betul.
Terima kasih ya Pak.
Ya, sama-sama.
Satu lagi ya Pak.
Yes, oke, boleh.
Ini dari pertanyaannya dalam bahasa Indonesia, semoga Bapak bisa paham.
Oke, siap.
Oke. Bapak, bagaimana cara memanage bagaimana memanage karyawan atau teman di dalam lingkungan kerja yang kurang paham menggunakan teknologi, Pak.
Oh, oke.
Walaupun memang kita boleh katakan bahwa saat ini semuanya sudah menggunakan teknologi, tetapi masih ada mungkin beberapa saat kita kerja teamwork yang belum bisa menggunakan teknologi tersebut dengan baik. Ya,
betul. Betul. Ada setengah tu yang tidak tahu nak menggunakan. Ada yang there are some classification of people. Some of them that they do not know, and they want to know. And there are some people who don't know, and they reluctant to know, menolak. They resist to change. They don't want to change. Yang mereka yang tak tahu tapi mahu, itu bagus. Itu senang untuk kita handle. Kita boleh ajar, kita boleh bantu sama-sama. We can teach them, we can share them together. Because why? They want to learn. But the most hard is that resistance. The people who resist, they don't want to change. They don't know about the technology, but they refuse to change. Those are people who really hard to get involved. Memang susah. Pada saya ialah kita try to involve them, try to teach them, but at the end, at some certain place where they will have the difficulties to handle the technology by themselves, and that time they will come back to us and they will ask for help. From there, they will know how the technology is really good for them. Daripada resistance akan menjadi tu. Tak apa, kita layan. Daripada saya lah, kita layan dulu. Layan apa benda kita ikut rentak mereka. Tapi satu masa nanti, bila katalah mereka perlukan untuk uruskan sendiri, mereka pasti akan jumpa kepada mereka yang ada pakar atau kemahiran dari segi teknologi. Dan masa itulah, barulah tersedar mereka akan mahu belajar untuk menggunakan teknologi. Tapi the keyword is that kesabaran lah. Kesabaran. Itu yang paling penting, sabar. Dengan orang-orang Cina.
Jadi kita harus juga approach mereka ya Pak untuk juga belajar, karena at the end semua orang di dalam tim tersebut harus bisa menggunakan teknologi dengan baik dan benar.
Ya,
Karena
betul.
supaya cepat kita mencapai achieve atau goal yang kita inginkan bersama-sama.
Ya, betul Ibu. Ya.
Itu Pak. Oh ya, ini ada pesan dari Dr. Indrajaya. Thank
Ya,
you
ya.
very much for the excellent lecture material.
Ya, thank you very much.
Dr. Mohd Fazli, very
Ya.
good knowledge sharing. I
Ya,
ask
thank you.
permission to leave. Oke, thank you Bapak. Sukses and good cooperation. My
Thank you
best
Pak.
juga.
Thank you very much.
Pak Dr. Indrajaya.
Ya.
Bapak, sebelum kita close dan terima kasih semua. Terima kasih juga untuk materi dan jawabannya,
Yes.
Bapak. Boleh sedikit sampaikan resume-nya, Bapak, untuk materi kita?
Oke. Untuk topik yang untuk hari ini lah berkenaan dengan attitude, behaviour kita, stress semua. Okay, it's all about it's all about us. It's all about us and our environment. Okay. The main point is that how do we want to cope that problem? Okay. People will say that they have the problems and sometimes they don't want to share and they want to share. It's up to them. Okay, but that's what you call as a perception. But it is how you want to organize yourself, how you want to become a better person from day to day. Okay, that means that stress is everywhere. Even you wake up, if you want to sleep also you have stress. So that means that how are you going to manage your stress very well. Environment, yes, it does affect about you, environment around us. That means that, but environment you cannot control them. Okay, it still become it's still there. It's just about you, how you going to fit the environment. It's not about the environment going to follow you. No, you need to follow what the environment is around you. That's why, like just now, technology. Yes, if you are not very good in technology, you need to keep up. At least you need to know the technology, what is that, what is what you want to use. So you need to follow up about that. So it's about your attitude. Once if your attitude is good, at the end, the positive comes towards you, and as a whole, your organization will become much more better. But it's not you yourself. It's a group. Okay, that means that your boss, your members, you need to always think positive about you yourself, and you also need to think positive about the others. About the negative part, what we call as a perception, you need to you need to reduce from time to time about the negative thinking about people, and also the people thinking negative about you. Okay, this will be about my whole topic for today.
Oke, terima kasih Bapak atas resume-nya, atas materinya. Mohon nanti kami di-share materinya Bapak.
Boleh bisa. Nanti saya emailkan nanti.
Dan kepada semua teman-teman yang sudah bertanya, terima kasih banyak. Ini tadi ada beberapa pertanyaan, kami sudah memutuskan 3 pertanyaan terbaik. Yang pertama dari Pebi, yang kedua dari Hanton, dan juga dari Helen. Ya, nanti bagus. Ada small gift dari kami, bisa temuin Ibu Caca nanti untuk ambil gifts-nya. Terima kasih banyak.
Congrats.
Terima kasih banyak atas pertanyaannya. Tetapi sebelum kita tutup, boleh nyalakan kameranya untuk kita foto bersama, Bapak. Untuk semua student juga, mari kita foto bersama.
Maaf ya, gelap sedikit.
Tidak, mari kita foto bersama ini, teman. Bapak bisa stop share
screen? Stop share? Alright, ya. Bisa. Oke, siap.
Oke, tunggu sebentar. Oke, tunggu. Oke, ini kita ada 3 slide. Oke, kepada teman-teman semua, kita foto bersama. Ini slide pertama ya. Kita foto. 1, sudah? Oh, masih ada. 1, 2, 3. Oke, masih 2 kali lagi. Tunggu sebentar. 1 kali lagi. Di slide ini slide kedua kita. Oke, masih ada yang masih menghidupkan kamera. Oke, terima kasih yang sudah menghidupkan kamera. Oke, saya tunggu. Kami tunggu. Oke, tunggu sebentar. Oke, 1, 2, 3. 1 slide lagi. Ini slide ketiga. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Terima kasih semuanya sudah bersama kami sampai dari jam 1 sampai dengan jam setengah 4. Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Bapak, terima kasih Dr. Indrajaya, terima kasih Mbak Cahyani dan semua mahasiswa yang sudah hadir. Sukses selalu, semoga lancar final exam-nya. Nanti untuk materinya, terima kasih Ibu Linda. Nanti materinya aku share ya Ibu.
Ya, terima kasih, ditunggu.
Iya, terima kasih. Terima kasih. Bapak, terima kasih ya Pak.
Terima kasih, terima kasih ya. Oke.
Kita tutup ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
Izin live ya Mbak Sherly.
Iya Ibu boleh.
Ya, dan jangan lupa minggu depan lagi Mbak Sherly di waktu yang sama.
Iya, betul.
Ya,
Nanti kita ada lagi minggu depan. Kita masih ada sesi dengan Dr. Isma, dengan Bapak Fazli lagi, dengan di tanggal 14 ya jika nggak salah ya. Nanti kita, maaf. Terima kasih semuanya sudah belajar bareng. Ini saya close ya.
Iya, Bu.
Iya, terima kasih ya.